All right. Hello, authors, book lovers, and storytellers. Welcome to another session here in Reader's Magnet's featured author interview. My name is Leah, and I am your host for today. And with me is one of the Reader's Magnet's featured author, and of course, one of the most valuable author we have. And she is also the winner of our Reader's Magnet Grand Bonanza Season 3. And we are very happy that we are given this chance to know her as an author, what her book is all about, and the inspiration behind it. So let's all welcome our one and only Susan Aurelia Gitelson, author of the book Giving is Not Just for the Very Rich. Hello, Susan. How are you doing today?
I'm fine. Do you know I'm in New York and it's the coldest day we've ever had?
Whoa.
And I feel great because I'm with all of you.
I like hearing that, Susan. Thank you so much for that. So, yes, here. Now, Susan, before we introduce your book with our viewers, why don't we let us know a little bit, about yourself? Hmm.
I feel very fortunate because even though I've been through a lot of crises, as many of you
Hmm.
have also, I've come out ahead and with a wish to help others and inspire others. Um, I started out as as an academic, as a professor of international relations in a country that was hit by war, like Ukraine now. So I empathize with them greatly. And the university closed, and I couldn't give my courses anymore. So that was the end of my academic career. And then I came back to New York, and I said, "Oh, what am I going to do now?"
Hmm.
But I didn't. I wasn't that discouraged. And then I was very fortunate to meet a gentleman who had not even finished college, Brooklyn College. I had all these degrees from Columbia, but he was the most wonderful human being. And he was an entrepreneur. And he taught me street smarts, which I had not learned at university. And I hope
Hmm.
all of you have learned it somewhere along the line. And he invited me to help him at a trade show because he dealt with high quality housewares and scientific laboratory supplies. And lo and behold, even though I didn't know that much about his products, I brought him his biggest order. Why? Because I love people. And a Swiss gentleman came in and I started talking with him. I said, "Oh, of course, I've been to Switzerland and I know you love the best
Hmm.
quality products." And he said, "Yes." And I said, "Where are your markets?" And he said, "Oh, I have department stores in Nigeria." And I said, "I've been
Wow.
to Nigeria." And as a result, he ordered a full container load of aluminum
Hmm.
ice cube trays manufactured by General Motors. And it was the biggest order that my friend had ever received. And that's how I got into business. But you know, who could have predicted this? Uh,
Hmm. Right.
what are you supposed to do? So I enjoyed that, and I couldn't study all about housewares. What did I know? You know, I wasn't in the kitchen. I was in the libraries, but I always loved people. And the whole idea is when people show an interest in whatever it is
Hmm.
that you're doing,
Hmm.
you ask them about themselves and you
Hmm.
find an angle that's suitable for them. And that's how I got
Right.
into business. And
Wow.
one thing led to another, and I became president of companies, and because my friend died, and I carried on. And what do you do with your money? You know, some people buy everything imaginable, that the best clothes, designers, everything. No, thank you. I established awards, and through the Columbia School of International and Public Affairs, I
Hmm.
endowed an award for human values in international affairs, which is, it's very helpful to have a general topic. And the school has been awarding this for 40 years now. And it goes to people from all the students come from all over the world,
Hmm.
and they're people who
Wow.
want to help others.
Right.
And
That is lovely, Susan. Full of
right,
inspiration.
right. You know, you want to encourage good people, and it's
Mhm.
not as if
Absolutely.
the award had that much money to it, but it had the spirit, human
Hmm.
values, and international affairs. And many
Right.
people, I hope all of you in the audience, believe in this, understand that it's not killing and bombing and all that that should be the
Hmm.
center of international affairs, but rather people
Totally agree.
helping others.
Yes, a desire to help others, right? And yep, that I believe that that is also the inspiration behind your book. And yes, Susan, this is the moment that we've been waiting for because it's time to know about Susan's book. So yes, Susan, before we introduce your book to them, yeah, before I'm gonna throw questions at you, do you have your book with you right now? Can you show it to our viewers?
But of course,
Okay.
giving is not just for the very rich. That's the whole point. You don't need money if you
Mm-hmm.
help your neighbor, if you help children who need, there's something wrong, or a parent is missing, or there's so many,
Uh-huh.
there's thousands of ways of helping others. And
Mm-hmm.
guess what? The more you help others, the better you feel yourself. That's
Right.
the kernel of my book. This is what I've
Mm-hmm.
learned in life.
Right. And you know what? Yes, Susan, I must say that from the title itself, one thing that I really like how this book was created, it's like an eye opener to everyone to stop thinking that hey, I don't have money, I'm not rich, so why would I help them? This book of yours, Susan, I think everyone should have.
Thank you.
From the very title itself, it has a good impact to help out someone. I mean, it's not just about giving material things, but it's how you act towards them by listening, being there in their bad times, downfall. That's actually a generous act for humankind, and it's priceless.
Good for you. You really caught it. How'd you manage? We're
Right, right.
communicating so well. We hope we communicate with everybody else.
Right. And you know what, Susan? I'm very curious. Having this book as a successful creation, is there any times that you encounter, let's say, as a most difficult part of the writing process?
Well, the most important thing about it is that it is a process that
Mm-hmm.
it's important to read what the experts say. And it turns out what is the biggest form of philanthropy is religion
Mm-hmm.
through your church or synagogue or whatever it is. So there are facts that one can gather. But beyond that is the spirit, is collecting
Right.
stories about individuals. Some of them are
Mm-hmm.
self-made millionaires. That's nice, but you
Mm-hmm.
don't have to be. And the whole
Right.
idea is to look around you and to see who needs help. And just
Mm-hmm.
listening to people means a great deal. And you may have read some of the
Mm-hmm.
articles about this. Um, just being open, communicating with others, and giving them a helping hand, and showing you care for them. Oh boy, because we read about too many people who commit suicide and they're so
Mm-hmm.
depressed and they take drugs. No, that's not the right approach. The best way
Right.
is to share, is to encourage people, is to help
Mm-hmm.
in whatever ways we can.
Right, Susan. That's exactly the reason why I mentioned earlier that your book is the kind of book that everybody should have. Because again, this book also gives a lot of ideas on why we need to help, why we need to give, as well as the benefit that we are getting, right? And from that moment writing, Susan, we wanted to know, are there any questions that you had for yourself, asking if this is if this is going to be a good story, a good book? Are there any doubts or let's say key challenges? And the courage, where is it coming from? As well as the inspiration of, let's say, pushing yourself to really share this piece.
My first inspiration was my father. He
Mm-hmm.
started me at the age of 10, no, I guess 9, speaking before adult groups and
Mm-hmm.
showing them that kids are bright, as many of you know if you are kids or if
Right.
you have kids. Uh, so I cared so much. I admired him so much. He was a philanthropist by giving collections of rare books and manuscripts to various university
Mm-hmm.
libraries. but it was also a way of dealing with people and not saying, I am so important, as we see with certain billionaires who turn out to be
Mm-hmm.
not quite honest and all that, but they think a lot of themselves. No, we simpler people uh,
Mm-hmm.
can be inspired and want to inspire others. That's the whole thing. Um,
Right.
I don't know about you, but I love meeting people from all over the world and asking them about themselves. And they feel good. Oh, someone came
Yes,
to me.
exactly, exactly. And also, Susan, I must say that one of the greatest things that you've done for this book is how you also showed to our viewers, to the readers, the importance of, let's say, giving, the connection. I love that. Such a very powerful thing that could really help everyone to, let's say, have that new perspective, let's say, a thorough understanding that will definitely bind people together. This is a wonderful story in creation, Susan.
Well, you're
Now, have
wonderful. You
you,
are
thank you
wonderful.
so much.
You've never met before and you understand, but that's the whole idea, to empathize
Right,
with others
right.
and to help others and not,
If you only have that open heart. Right.
yes, and not to go
Mhm.
around saying, I'm so important. No,
Mhm.
you are important. Tell me more about yourself. Oh, maybe we can do something together, and then people relax.
Absolutely.
And
Mhm.
instead of saying, I'm stupid, I better take drugs, I better do this. No, you say,
Mhm.
oh, I have a neighbor who's autistic, and I'm going to
Mhm.
help that person. We just listening to what other people need, we can find ways to help them. All of us can do this.
Yes, absolutely. I would totally agree, Susan. Especially that this kind of book is also advocating a specific cause and agenda. This book is really full of inspiration, a wonderful creation that will surely inspire each individual to, to see new hope, new journey, and open heart for new possibilities, right? To also, let's say, discover again the power of connection, giving, love, sacrifices, and of course friendship and unity. I just love it.
I love
Now,
listening to you.
thank you so much. You know what? I also wanted to ask Susan, the time that you wrote this book up to this very moment, I know that by reading, hearing a lot of positive feedback from your fans, supporters, and readers, it is a thing that also keeps inspiring you, right? Now, what would you like? I wanted you to take this opportunity, Susan. What would you like your readers to feel after reading your book?
The joy of helping others. And it's amazing because when you stop saying, "Oh, I have so many problems," and you start saying,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, look, so and so doesn't have enough to eat." Oh, I have a neighbor who said she couldn't afford to buy newspapers every day, and I
Mm-hmm.
said, "Oh, I subscribe to the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal. I'll give you my copies after I read them." And I do this. So it's something that doesn't cost money, but it
Mm-hmm.
does give somebody else a boost. And if you love reading and finding out about this and watching television, whatever it is, you get new ideas. And then you say, maybe I could help. What could I do?
Right.
It's so, I don't know about you, I feel ageless because you don't ever get old if you care about others.
Mhm. Wow. And that's priceless. Right. You know what, Susan? One thing that I really wanted to say to you right now is a big thank you. You deserve this acknowledgement, this recognition by creating such wonderful story. And from the bottom of our hearts and my entire Readers Magnet family, Susan, thank you so much for choosing us to be part of this journey towards you reaching your goal as an author and, of course, sharing this story. And again, I like the book. It's advocating a specific cause and agenda. It was really an interesting discussion, Susan. Thank you so much for grazing with us today. So, yes, everyone, Susan Gitelson, our one and only author of the book, Giving is Not Just for the Very Rich, a how to guide for giving and philanthropy. Her book is available on Amazon.com, Barnes& and Noble, and of course, her website, it will be available soon as well. So you may also follow her on all the social media platforms she has. So again, everyone, thank you so much, Susan. As we say it here in Reader's Magnet, we share your story with the world. Thank you so much.
Fabulous. Thank you. You're terrific. Thank you.
I know. Thank you so much, Susan. You have a great day.
You too.